Hey guys, so I was requested to make a video in response to Raleigh's video of her reacting to her old riding videos. Now, I'm not going to do that. I am not going to judge somebody else's riding. They can judge their own riding. And I was just like, nah, I'm not going to do that. But, oh my gosh. Then today, she releases her Why I Hate Barrel Racers video. Or everything wrong with barrel racers and whatnot. And I'm just like, oh boy, come on. So today I'm going to respond to that video and actually set straight some of the things she said. So before we get into this video, I want you all to know that Raleigh is a professional barrel racer. I mean, she's gone up, competed in rodeos all across the world, probably qualified for the NFR when she was 4 years old, something like that. I mean, I'm sure she's gone to many races and placed in the 40. I highly doubt it. Okay, she said that she used to be a barrel racer, and I'm sure she went around 3 barrels a couple times, maybe went to a few little fun shows every now and then, but she is not a barrel racer, okay? There's a difference between going around 3 barrels and actually barrel racing. So I think the last video that she posted ever of her actually barrel racing was her warming up and trotting through the pattern. And it was kind of funny because there were only a few clips where she actually showed herself turning the barrel, and the rest of them, she cut the clip before she went around the barrel. And then she came back once she had completed the turn. It's like, okay, guys, like, I don't hide anything, okay? A lot of my videos that I've done of me barrel racing with Star, especially our competition videos, you guys can see we have terrible turns. We have terrible runs. I'm not going to hide that. That's what barrel racing is like. That's what training a barrel horse is like. You're gonna have bad turns. But I'm not going to go and edit them out and make myself look good. Okay? I have a ton of stuff that I'm going to go over, so this is going to be long, so just bear with me. One of the things she says throughout the whole video is like 95% of barrel racers do blah 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 blah, which I find mostly untrue in some of the points she says, so we'll get to that later. But the first point I want to say is she said that rodeo is a dying industry, which I think is untrue. Because thousands of people attend the National Finals Rodeo every single year, and they just had a rodeo at the Calgary Stampede, and I'm pretty sure there were 260 barrel racers that entered, and that does not even include the bull riders and the ropers and all of the other events that were there. And those two do not include all of the other rodeos that go on across the country. It's not a dying industry. It's just keep on growing, okay? The third thing she says is that barrel racers say that their horses love to run, and she responds with that, no they don't. They only run because their riders are whipping and kicking them. That's not true. Not all barrel racers kick and whip their horse. Okay, I was just riding Star the other day. We had not even gone through the barrel pattern yet, and I was just trotting her around the arena to warm her up, and we went past one of the barrels that was set up, and she literally tried to turn it. I didn't have to ask her. I didn't set her up for it. I didn't even have it on my mind, turn the barrel. She just did it, and because she likes it. Another thing is that the horses only run because they are kicked and screamed at, which is not true. You see a lot of horses run just because they want to and they love to. A lot of people barely have to nudge them with their foot and their horse is taking off. I know I have seen people at some barrel races kind of yell at their horse, and by yell at their horse I don't mean like in a bad way, but be like, go 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 go. And I actually know people who will growl at their horse, and that's kind of telling their horse go on in an encouraging way. She says that horses get anxiety because they know that they'll get kicked and whipped. So like you see a horse getting all high strung and putting his head up in the air and everything before they're entering the arena. And she says that they get that way because they know they're going to get kicked and beaten and whatever. That is not true. I mean, you go and watch, like, especially NFR videos, you see the horses coming in the alleyway and they're dancing and prancing and spinning around, and the riders don't even kick them. The riders don't even have to use a whip. The rider just has to say go and that horse is gone. Like I said, Raleigh is a professional barrel trainer, so she completely knows how to properly train a horse. According to her, the only way to train a barrel horse is by beating them. Guys, that's the only way to do it. If you're doing it any other way, if you're walking your horse and trotting your horse through the pattern and just getting them to go in little circles and just really lightly nudging them with your feet, you're doing it wrong. You need to go get yourself a whip, any type of whip. Get yourself 2 or 3. That way you can have one at the barn, in the trailer, on your saddle, wherever. Have it at all times, and you just go whop, whop, and that's gonna magically all of a sudden get you a barrel horse. Congratulations. That is not how it's done. Okay, I've never had to use a whip on Star. I've never had to use a whip going through the barrel pattern. And she's a pretty good barrel horse by now. And I think a lot of the professionals, actual professional barrel racers, don't have to use whips when they're training their horses. So there's where you're wrong. Like, very wrong. Then she touches on starfishing, which I'm not a big fan of starfishing. I don't like it. I do understand in some cases it can be accidental. I have experienced it. My horse powers away from that barrel and I'm like, woo! Almost getting thrown out of the saddle because they're just going away from it with such force. I can understand it can be accidental. And I know sometimes the people do it on purpose. But I think that starfishing isn't done as much as it was like a year ago. I think a lot of people are turning to be quiet riders because that proves to be better. Now, when I say that, that doesn't mean for every other horse. Some horses you need to be just a little more aggressive with. Of course, she goes into her spur rant and it's like, if you use spurs, you already don't know anything, which is not true at all. Spurs used correctly can be a very, very useful tool. She is thinking that anybody who rides in spurs jams their horse, and that is not how spurs are to be used. There are people out there that do use spurs that way, but that is the incorrect way. You're supposed to just slightly nudge your horse just to give them more of a command to do it, to ask them just a little bit more if they're not responding to you. She also said 99% of barrel racers ride in spurs, which is also not true. I don't know where she's getting these statistics because there's a lot of barrel racers that don't use spurs. Okay, this is the funny part. She says that barrel horses are mentally unstable because they're beaten and they're in stalls all of their lives. 24/7. They're in stalls all of their lives, which I don't know where she's getting these facts, because a lot of barrel horses spend their time outside in a pasture and only in stalls maybe a short time in the day to get out of the heat, or at night, especially in areas where there might be coyotes or cougars or stuff like that. And then, of course, at competition, but they do take them out for walks to get exercise. Barrel horses are not in stalls 24/7. If they were in stalls 24/7, that would be really bad for their health, and it would probably make them not so loose and supple. So they need their pasture time, and a ton of barrel racers realize that, and they do give their horses a lot of pasture time. Barrel horses are not kept in stalls 24/7 and only brought out to run barrels. That's extremely unsafe for the horse, and a lot of barrel racers know that. So I'm not sure where you're getting your facts that barrel horses are kept inside 24/7, but you might want to click off that website. The next thing she said is that barrel racers think it's okay to beat their horses. I don't know too many barrel racers that think that it's okay to beat your horse. Now, I know a lot of barrel racers use whips to encourage their horse to run faster, but it's not really abuse if they only do it a few times. If they do it multiple times, then it would be considered abuse. And if they're really just doing it just because they're punishing the horse, I would say that's abuse. And most organizations don't tolerate abuse. I went and looked up the NBHA rule. If y'all want to know where it is, in section E, it's number D. It says abuse of a horse in any way is not tolerated and it will get you penalized or disqualified. So if you abuse your horse, they're going to call you out on it, okay? And she also says that people who care about competition don't care about their horse and never spend time with them, which is also makes me wonder where she gets all these facts. It's clear she doesn't do any research for her videos at all, but bro racers care for their horses a lot. They treat their horses like their child, their partner, family. They treat them like family. A lot of the big top professional bro racers would not hesitate to spend hundreds and thousands of dollars to keep their horse happy and healthy and sound. And that doesn't mean happy, healthy, and sound just so they can go and compete at more races. That's to ensure that the horse is happy and comfortable. And I'm sure they spend a lot of time with them and create that bond with them. Otherwise, I don't think they would be able to get their horse to do everything that they ask them to do. So then at the very end, she says the more experience she gets, the more she learns that bro racing is the dumbest thing ever invented, which I don't see where her experience is coming from, because it's clear she doesn't know anything about bro racing except for the very slim few times she's seen some bad examples, which throughout the whole video she posted, she was posting pictures and videos that were bad examples. That's all I had to say about this video. If you guys really want to learn what bro racing is all about, you are more than welcome to ask me anytime. You can comment on any of my videos, or you can DM me on Instagram. I would be happy to answer any questions you guys have about bro racing. I'm here to educate, not spew opinions that aren't even true around. So yeah. Guys, bro racing isn't bad. A lot of the equipment we use is not bad. It's some people just misuse it, and you cannot think like bits and spurs are abuse when you've only seen a couple people misuse them. Because bits, spurs, and whips themselves are not abuse. The rider is, and it's the way the rider uses them that says whether they're abusive or not. So that's all I had to say. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave your opinion in the comments below. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.